Welcome back. We're here discussing the gateway to higher education in engineering, and with us is our expert Mahesh Sharma to talk a bit more about the exam. So how do you interpret these huge increase in numbers? Is it that GATE is extremely popular, or is it now necessary to have a master's degree in engineering?
It's neither.
Okay.
It's actually because the number of engineering students have gone up substantially. In the last 10 years, if you take, we have tripled the number of engineering students. In 2005, I used to have about 4.5 to 5 lakh seats, which went up to about 10 lakh by 2010, and it's now about 2 million.
Wow.
So 2 million seats, available. Assuming that about 1 or 2 lakhs seats don't get filled, you're still talking about 1.8 million students who are graduating in the coming 2 years or so. There are not many number of jobs, accordingly. At best, about 3 to 4 lakhs get accommodated in the largest sector, which is IT. Other sectors would take about 1 lakh, lakh and a half, which means nearly about 6 to 8 lakh engineering graduates are willy-nilly forced to look at options other than a job, not according to this choice. Some, of course, who get a job also will look for higher education. So effectively, the number of students who aspire for a higher education willy-nilly has gone up substantially, and it will remain there for quite some time until the economy picks up and job opportunities grow. Then naturally, it'll stabilize, but that's 3-4 years away.
So how should students decide whether they want to take the GATE as compared to doing a job immediately after their bachelor's? Should they go in for a master's, or should they choose a job?
Honestly, there is no choice in that sense, because ideally you must have a clarity as to what is it that you want to do with your life. By the time you reach your third year engineering, you are reasonably well settled by that time. You would know whether you have the ability to do academic work, serious academic work, which is what MTech is. There is substantial research component attached to it. It is a semi-research degree. So the aptitude for doing rigorous research work, whether you have it or not, is something you would be clear by the third year. So to that extent, it's easy to decide. But unfortunately, in India, a lot of students pick up an MTech because they don't have an option of a job.
Okay.
They are willingly forced to take up an MTech. So I would always advise a student, even if he gets a 5,000 rupee job, he should pick that up vis-a-vis an MTech in case he's not too keen.
Okay. So don't force yourself to
never,
just go for
never.
it.
Yeah. All you're trying to do is to then postpone your decision making by 2 more years. You will finish a BTech, you don't have a job, so you will try an MTech, then you don't have a job, then what will you do? You'll go for a PhD. It doesn't work that way. So if you're not cut out for research, even if job is a big difficulty, you must honestly try for a job and not go for an MTech if there is no aptitude to it. So it's your aptitude which you have to primarily examine very carefully and decide. Having decided on an MTech, then you could choose. Then the options are plenty after that. But that clarity has to be with you. You must never get into an MTech because you have nothing else to do.
Got it. How should one choose between doing a master's in engineering in India or going abroad? How should they decide? 4
years back, if someone has asked that question, I would say definitely abroad, because Indian universities are, there's a funny saying, IITs, the product is a BTech, the byproduct is an MTech, and the waste product is a PhD. People say it in jest, but not anymore. Some of the universities are offering fantastic research ambience now. And some of their departments are world class. See, the operation research of IIT Madras is the best in the world. It's in the top 30 departments in the world. So you do have now fantastic world class work. Nanotechnology in Indian Institute of Science, biotechnology in Kanpur. So there is a growth. There is a lot of opportunities to do really serious world class work in Indian universities. But it is still restricted. The number of such openings are limited vis-a-vis the number of aspirants. You actually have 1.5 million aspirants. I probably have 30,000 MTech seats in the country. The seats are exceptionally limited. So if you go to a tier 2, tier 3 institutions, you will have plenty of MTech seats, but you may not get anything out of it. So between a tier 2 engineering college in India and a tier 2 engineering college in US college is far, far better. So if you come down from your tier 1, which is the probably a gate rank of 2500 or so, then it does make sense for you to keep a few foreign universities as a backup option.
So what sort of ranks should students aim to get to make it to the top institutes in the country?
See, normally, computer science and mechanical engineering are two most sought after MTech domains. There, for a good IIT, the cutoffs would close by about 700, 800 rank, at best a 1500. By about 1500, you have all the nice branches and nice ideas over. So you will have odd branches like metallurgical engineering or technology or probably ocean technology, something like that, or a new IIT, IIT, not even Guwahati. Guwahati is relatively old now. IIT Ropar or IIT Patna, IIT Hyderabad. Some average odd programs you will get at about 2400 rank. Anything beyond 2500, 3000, you are out of the reckoning for the top tier institutions. Yeah. Then you get into the other institutions. You have good deemed universities coming your way. But yes, if you dream of a very good research career and doing high quality work, then at least 1500 is a rank you must target, which is what? Less than 1% of the, 0.1% of the, which is tough.
What would be some of the top tips that students should keep in mind when preparing for GATE?
See, any entrance examination demands a certain rigor, and GATE demands much more than that, because it is an applied examination. They not only examine what you know, but also lot of the examination questions are how can you apply what you know? Can you take a concept? Can you twist it around? Can you see whether it is relevant to the real life problem which you are facing? So there is a certain rigor to a GATE examination, and interestingly, a GATE examination is also used as a means for recruitment by a lot of PSUs.
Okay.
If you visit my site, you can see that article. At least about 10-12 PSUs use that. Okay. Which means if you score very well in a GATE and perform very well, it is not only that you get an option of going for an MTech, you're also
increase your chances.
Yes, of getting a very good job in a good like an NTPC or a BHEL will pay you 8-9 lakhs very easily. And the work is challenging. Yeah. So that's another option which you have. Yeah. So it is the subject knowledge which matters much more when you prepare for a GATE. And that's what you must aspire for. And that is not built in the 1 year after BTech. The mistake a lot of students do is that they think about a GATE probably in December of the graduating year.
Let's give the GATE.
Yes, let's give a GATE because my placements are not working out. No, you must think about a GATE at the end of your 3rd year, preferably at the end of 2nd year. By 3rd year mid, you must be clear that yes, I want to do a GATE. Then you start preparing your subjects with that kind of a mindset, because 3rd and 4th year you do a lot of core subjects. You must do it with an understanding that you're preparing for an examination, which is much more rigorous than what your general exam is. Yes. Even if you study for 40% of your time, you will clear your BTech, but you wouldn't clear your GATE with that. So the ideal time to prepare is not 4th year end of 3rd year, but middle of 3rd year or latest by end of 3rd year.
Besides GATE, what are some of the other entrance exams for a master's in engineering that you would recommend that students take?
See, some of the private universities now do offer good stipends and good industry-led programs. For example, Vailtech, which is not a very well-known university, has a tie-up with the ARRI, Pune, and offers an MTech in automobile engineering. Now, that's almost an industry-sponsored program, where ARRI sits on the board and picks up students. Very specialized, very niche, and hell lot of opportunities at the end of it. Now, these are, hidden gems. Yes. Vailtech won't come to your mind when you think of engineering colleges, but there is this hidden gem there. VIT has something like that. SSN, Shivnadar's college in Chennai, has a program. Okay. I think Amartha had one with SUNY Buffalo. Okay. So you have, but these has to be dug out.
Yeah, you have to do your research big time.
Yes, because they don't exist just like that. And these universities do exist, as beta colleges, but they also have specific specialized programs which will get you a job is something which you have to research on.
But these have their separate entrance exams?
They do.
They don't take GATE?
Most of them have their own entrance examinations. Some of them do accept GATE, like LN Metal accepts GATE. There are colleges which do that, but like ARRI definitely doesn't. You have to write their own entrance examination because it's automobile engineering, it's specialized. So some of them have their own entrances. Manipal has its own entrance. VIT has its own entrance. So
and is the material very different, or the pattern of the paper very different from GATE? So. Not really.
In terms of difficulty levels, it will be different. Approach will be slightly different. But if you're preparing for GATE, you're preparing for them. There is not much of a.
So there's overlap in the.
There is substantial overlap in these examinations. And once you get there, pass question papers, and then get some model test done by one of these coaching institutions, you will know where you stand. Then you can prepare accordingly.
So what are the top 5 things to keep in mind when preparing for GATE?
First thing is, you must know whether you have an aptitude for research. That is the most important thing. Second is, you must have an assessment about your abilities. Just clearing a BTech is no guarantee that you will get into GATE because the chances are very low here. So have a realistic assessment of your ability. 3, if you decide that you want to, that is the career objective you have, then start preparing from your second year onwards. Take your subjects very seriously. Look at them from an application point of view. Don't look at them from just passing the examination point of view. Prepare from second year, definitely by third year. By middle of third year, you must be clear that you're preparing for it. 4, try and make your first attempt during the 4th year end itself. Give that by the end of 4th semester, 7th semester or 8th semester beginning. Don't delay it. And preferably, don't waste more than a year. If you've cleared your engineering and now something is not working out and you're looking for GATE, give it 1 year, that's it.
Don't keep giving it.
Don't keep giving it, because if you don't get into the job market within the 2 years of your graduation, you're actually old. Because remember, every year nearly 1.2 to 1.4 million graduates are going to come into the market every year now.
Competition keeps increasing.
It's increasing, and colleges do, companies do prefer a fresher. Then the question would be, what are you doing for the last 2 years? If you say I'm preparing for GATE, you're in trouble. So think about it in advance, prepare well, give it in 2 attempts. If you don't get it, move on. Don't stick around.
Thank you so much, sir. If you're thinking of writing the GATE, we do hope that we got your queries addressed and your questions answered. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.